Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am Zakiya Monique, Master Life and Relationship Strategist. I'm also a transformational speaker, and I'm on typically during the 9 o'clock hour, a couple days a week. Hey, Miss Vanessa, how are you? Good evening, good evening, good evening. As you come on in, we're going to talk about Miss Ayesha Curry and what she said tonight. And I know that there have been a lot of opinions given. I get it. I wasn't even going to come on and talk about it because I'm not really infatuated with the whole celebrity life thing. But they're people too, and relationships are relationships. So I'll come and talk about it with you guys. So don't forget to hit that share button. I would appreciate it so very much. We're going to talk about Miss Ayesha Curry tonight, and I want to come from a couple of different perspectives. Um, hey, Mr. Robert Campbell, Lee Hamilton, Rhonda Bryan, Elaine Murph, Eddie Collins. Hey, everybody. I appreciate you guys for coming on in. I want to talk about this whole Steph Curry situation. It's amazing to me how celebrity, how just being a celebrity just puts you in a different frame because nobody would care about this if she was not Steph Curry's wife, right? If she was not of someone's, the wife of someone prominent, you know what I mean? And so, I'm gonna get to that in just a minute. But so good evening, good evening, good evening. Come in and share. I want to talk about what Mrs. Curry, found herself in the limelight for this time. So I had to get my setup together. All right. You ready? You ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. All right. So let's talk about it. All right. I had to get my setup together. All right, so first of all, here's what I want to say. Hey, Mr. Derek Jackson. Hey, Miss Jen Renee, how are you? Let's talk about Steph Curry. Let's talk about Ayesha Curry. So first of all, I want us to keep in mind that we're talking about a 30-year-old woman. Okay, we're talking about a 30-year-old woman. A 30-year-old woman, she just turned 30. Okay, so I want us to keep that in mind. I'm not giving an excuse, not at all, but I'm just helping you to understand who we're listening to. Some of us are judging her as if she's been married for many, many years. Some of us are judging her she as if she has had so many years a life, life experience. She's 30. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you can't have great experiences at 30 years old, but what I am saying is, hello, stop and think about who we're talking about here, right? So first of all, she's a 30-year-old, and I don't know about you. I don't put my beliefs on anybody, but I believe that people who are born around the same times of year have similar traits. She's an Aries. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you something that I know about Aries. Aries like attention. Okay, my best friend of many years was an Aries. Listen, Aries like attention. Okay, they like attention. They like affection. They like to be, they like to be the center. They like to be the first. They like that. So keep that in mind. I'm not telling you, I don't believe in horoscopes. Okay, I don't believe in that crap. But what I do believe that people born around the same times a year have the similar traits. And I know for a fact, I've been around enough Aries, most of them like some type of attention. So with that being said, this is a 30-year-old, just turned 30. She had 3 babies, okay? Wife of an NBA player, okay? Keep all of this in mind. So let me say this. She said, yes, I am a diamond, and yes, I love attention. See what I'm saying? Now, keep this in mind. I watched the whole clip. I wouldn't come on until I watched everything because there is a very great danger in taking one piece out of something. There's a very great danger in taking a piece out because until you know what was said before, what was said after, the context of this was, until you know what was said or the context in which it was said, you run the risk of making the wrong judgment. So even when I did the R. Kelly synopsis, I watched all of the nights before I made any comments simply because I wanted to see the whole thing. Okay. So with that being said, Ayesha Curry, 30 years old, she likes attention. We know that off rip. Okay. Now, there was a statement made in this, because remember, they're talking to seasoned women. One woman was married 30 years, another one, Jada, married 21 years. So they're getting different perspectives about marriage and then about being married to celebrities and NBA players. Listen to what was said. They said that different types of commitments happen at different levels of your relationship. And this is totally, hit the share button. This is totally true. At different points of your relationship, a different type of commitment is required. Okay. And so what happens is we start off committed to each other, excuse me, and in love, and I'm committed to you. Then all of a sudden, here comes some kids. Now I'm committed to the family, right? They are in the process of being committed to family, okay? So 30 years old, she likes attention, off rip, just who she is. Now she went from being committed to just her husband to now being committed to the NBA, being committed to and the NBA on the whole scheme. Because let's be real now. Steph Curry, when he first came out, wasn't popping like that. Okay, somebody showed a piece of something that she said in 2011. In 2011, Steph Curry was not popping like that. So it was okay for her to be talking about dudes hollering at her then, because at that time she was not contending with the NBA. She was not contending with the hordes of women that she's contending with today. We didn't know Steph Curry like that, okay, until about 2013. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, Steph Curry with the shot, Steph Curry with the shot, Steph Curry with the shot. And all of a sudden it went from her husband having a nice little, okay, quiet life in the NBA to, oh my gosh, Steph Curry. Okay, oh my gosh, you Steph Curry. You're married to Steph Curry. No longer are you Ayesha, you're now Steph Curry's wife, right? Okay, so I'm just setting the stage for you. Just stick with me here, stick with me here. Hey, Mo Pasha. Hey, Lakeisha Berry. Hey, Letitia. Hey, Joseph, how are you? Hey, thank you guys for hitting the share button. I appreciate it. So remember, there are different types of commitment at different levels of your relationship. They have now moved from being so in love with each other to now having to expand and now focus on children. And then it didn't help that, boom, NBA took off too. So at the same time, she's having kids, he's blowing up in the NBA, but it went from just being them, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, someone said that her statement is the classic example of how you can give a woman everything and not be enough. Let me speak to that real quick. When a woman wants you, while she will appreciate everything that you go through to provide for the home, while she will appreciate everything that you do as a provider, that will never take the place of her having you. Can I say that again? Do I need to say that again? Listen, if a woman wants you, when she wants you, see, it's too many men out here that have women that don't necessarily want them. They want what's in their hand. See, and we kind of the same way with God. We don't want you, God. We just want what's in your hand. Okay, I'm not going to go there. But I'm just saying, there are so many women out here nowadays. I call them females, okay? There are so many females out here that just really want what's in that man's hand. They really want to be linked to that man for some reason other than love. They don't want you. They want what's in your hand. Well, here's the thing. When a woman wants you, thank you for sharing. When a woman wants you, she will appreciate what you do for the house. She will appreciate what you do to provide, but that will never take the place of her having you. So I don't care how many baskets you shoot on the net, on the court. I don't care how many people love you. I don't care. What I want you to understand is I still want you. I still want you. I don't care if you Steph Curry to the world. I still want you. What happened to the Steph Curry that we was living a nice, quiet life? What happened to that Steph Curry? I still want you. Don't care about the $200,000, $1 million or whatever. That's fine. She's making her own money anyway. She may not make as much as him, but she's making enough to live. Trust me. But the point is, when a woman wants you, fellas, yes, we appreciate your provision, but that does not take the place of your presence. Provision never takes the place of presence. Don't think you can give me a couple of dollars and that's good. No, don't think you can give me a couple $100 million and that's good, because I still want you if I love you. Okay, that's the first thing. That's first thing. Further, a good man is not always a good provider. So I'm going back to the statement. A man said this is how you know, just based on what Steph Curry wife said. This how you know you can give the woman the world and she still ain't satisfied. Hold on, partner. Because just because you give a woman something does not mean, or provide for a woman, don't mean you're a good man. A good man is always a good provider, but a good provider is not always a good man. I know several men that will take their whole check home, but they out here slanging goods and services to everybody else like it ain't nothing. And some of them same men were bumping their chops about what Ayesha Curry said tonight. And I was thinking to myself, your wife is on Facebook doing numbers too. And I wonder why she on Facebook so much, because last I checked, when you're a wife, a mother, a student, employee, and all of these things, when do you have time to be on Facebook all day unless that's what your job pay you to do? So if your wife on Facebook all day, I'm inclined to believe that you might not want to be worried about what Steph Curry got going on. You might want to be worried about why your wife making endless statuses all day. I'm just saying, goods and services, Mo, goods and services up and through here, up and through the streets. Okay, and see, Mo, we've been taught that time is money, but let me tell you something. Time is not money. Time is not even like money, because money I can get and lose and get it again. Time I can't get, lose, and get it again. Once your time is up, ask Michael Jackson and Prince. They had all the money in the world. They probably could have, if time could be bought, they could buy it. But their time was up. Time is more precious than money. And that's the thing that people don't get. They think because he makes 200 million, whatever, that, that's Steph Curry. So what? So you got to understand, she knew Steph Curry before Steph Curry was the big dude. Don't get me wrong. He was in the NBA when they got married. That's true. But the NBA she thought he was going to live, that life she thought he was going to live, is not the life that it turned out that he was going to live. And I'm going to tell you how I know that, because I watched the full clip now. I watched the full clip. I didn't just watch the one piece. I watched the full clip and I caught the things that she said. See, one of my gifts is not to just listen to hear, but it's listen and pay attention to body language, and it's paying attention to everything. Listen to me when I tell you, I was paying attention to her body language. I was paying attention to the things she said. I was paying attention, and I'm getting ready to tell you my take, because truth is relative. This is my truth. This is not facts. This is my truth. Okay, yeah, time is not this. It's the only thing we can't buy, Mo. That's true. But let me tell you something. They were talking about dealing with flirtatious men, women around their men. This is what they were talking about. Dealing with flirtatious women around their men. Okay, this is where it all came from. And Jada Pinkett said that as a woman with a celebrity husband, one of the things that you have to have is an internal space of confidence. You have to have an internal space of confidence in order for you to deal with that. Otherwise, you're going to want to fight everybody. You're going to be out of pocket about everybody. But you have to have an internal space of confidence, number one, in you, and number two, in your relationship, and knowing that what you have is worth more than what these women are trying to present. But another thing that you have to have, yeah, you got to check it out, Mo. Another thing that you have to have is a man that will put those women in their place. Did y'all hear what I said? You see, it's one thing for you to have an internal confidence in you, to know that you're a bad sister and what you bring to the table. Hey, if you want to wager that, then do what you do. The second thing you have to have confidence in is your relationship, to know that it's been through some things, and he ain't gonna be quick to throw that away. But the third thing you have to have confidence in, or the third thing that has to happen, is the men have to put the women in their place. And that's what's missing. I'm gonna tell you how I know. First of all, Ayesha has not yet developed the internal space of confidence. She specifically indicated that she hates to have to introduce herself, and she's had to introduce herself several times. So that tells me that her husband is still dealing with all of the lights and all of that, because wait a minute, did you forget her right here? She said that several times she has had to introduce herself, which tells me then that where he at? What he doing? He's still dealing with all of the stuff too, and trying to satisfy everybody, and trying to, okay, yes, okay. She said that he was friendly. She said that he talkative and all that type of stuff. And so therefore, what happens? He forgets about her sometimes. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So she specifically indicated, okay? He said, oh Lord, Z, don't tell him that. Listen, she specifically indicated that she hates to have to introduce herself, and she has had to introduce herself several times. So number one, boom, she feels invisible. Okay. The second thing that she admitted is that she feels guilty. She feels very guilty about leaving the kids for her career. So here's the thing. Her husband's an NBA player. She decided, listen, I want something for myself, right? I want something for myself. So she went out and she did her thing. But then she can't do her thing in peace and have a peace for herself because she feel like, dang, I'm leaving my kids. So she got this guilt, right? Okay, keep that in mind. So remember, she said in the interview that she already struggling trying to meet every need. She tried to meet her husband's need, her children's need, and her own need, because one of the things she said was she's trying to keep something for herself so that she can be a better her for them. Because when a woman feels like she's had to give up everything, a piece of her is just I can't. A piece of her is just like, I can't take it. A woman should never have to give up everything. Okay, we should be able to have something too. Okay, and so she said, well, I wanted to have something for myself so that I could be better for them. Because when a woman's had to give up everything, she's miserable. And when she's miserable, guess what happens? A person only can give you what they carry. If misery is what they carry, that's all they're going to give you. Now, Mo Pasha says, wait, any real man will introduce himself and introduce his family in the same sentence. Okay, Mo, you see where I'm going with this? When you watch it, you'll hear what she says. She said there's been several times she's had to introduce herself, and she hates that. Because why? She feels invisible. Let's keep moving. Now, they start talking about all of the attention he's getting, right? And I made a status earlier saying that it's a whole lot of Ayeshas out here. It's a whole lot of women that feel the same way because everybody all talking about you because you popping in the street, fellas. But then they didn't forgot that this is the backbone right here, that you wouldn't be able to be popping in the streets. Hello. You wouldn't be able to be doing everything that you do with ease and with comfort if she wasn't making some sacrifices at home. So there's no way that you can just glorify him without saying his queen. Okay, we are so out of order by praising these pastors, by praising these men, and not giving women the reverence that they deserve, or understanding that, hey, excuse me, he would not be able to be out here popping like he popping if in turn he didn't have a solid home. Okay, if he didn't have a home that was solid, his mind he'd be like, okay, I got to do something with my kids. I got to do something with my kids. He don't have to think about that when he's shooting them shots. All he got to do is go out there and guard LeBron or guard whoever he gonna guard. He ain't got to worry about how his kids doing. But guess who do? She do. She can't go stir them pots and not worry about how them kids doing. So once again, she still feels like even the piece of her that she does have, she still got to share it. She still got to worry about kids. So once again, I'm invisible. Because even when I'm stirring them pots and I'm a restaurateur, I still got to be somebody's mama. I'm still his wife. Where's me? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? So they were talking about how they handle their men getting attention from women. And Jada said she felt the same way. Now, I'm inclined to wonder, why did nobody dog Jada? Jada said, hey, Terry, Jada said, she felt the same way. She said it. But did nobody say nothing about Jada? They told Ayesha out the frame. They didn't say nothing about Jada. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, I want you to stop and think about this. At this point, when they start talking about how they handle their men getting attention from women, Steph Curry, mama talked about how she handled it. Jada said she felt just like Ayesha felt once upon a time. All of this. I want you to stop and think of who we're dealing with. I told you, Ayesha's a 30-year-old woman. She's coming into womanhood. 30-year-old, 3 children. She just had 3 babies. They little kids. They're not big. 3 little kids. And listen, men, you'll never know how a woman feels about her body after she can pump not 1, not 2, but 3 babies out. Okay? She don't feel as sexy as she used to feel. She don't feel as confident as she used to feel. She know you're going to tell her she's beautiful because you feel like that's your job. Why do you think women like Little Kim go and get their faces all distorted? Because they don't feel beautiful. You can look in the mirror and you can see something, and then she can look in the mirror and see something totally different. So after 3 babies, she ain't feeling all that hot. In addition to the fact that he done forgot to introduce me a couple of times, so I feel invisible. I can't have my own thing without worrying about these kids invisible. Who am I? What happened to me? So let's put this in perspective. She had already said that he is oblivious to the women. He think everybody trying to be his friend. Hey, Hey, Steve. Hi. How you doing? He wants to say hey to all the fans. Hey, fans. How you doing, fans? Hey, fans. So he's oblivious to the women hitting on him. He's friendly. He's talkative. And they already said that she has some insecurities about not being introduced and basically feeling invisible. Then her husband blew up what seemed like overnight in about 2013. This was 2 years after they got married. So they had 2 years of just having regular life. And then all of a sudden he blew up and everything changed. And see, we tend to see the change for the good because he's getting $200 million. But you never stop to think, how did her life change? How did her life change? Do you know how many people say that they would rather not have that? They would just rather not have that lifestyle. Give me my man back. Give me the love of my life back. Because now she has to share him with the world. The world. He's not just a regular basketball player. She's not just sharing him with the NBA. She has to share him with the world now. So they got married in 2011. His career took off. He signed with the NBA in 2009. They got married in 2011. His career took off in 2013. When did they have time to bond? When did they have time to create a solid foundation? I mean, I'm talking about rock solid. When? I'll let you think about that for a minute. So, was she prepared to be that wife? Absolutely not. And she said it in the interview. She said, I was not. She said a lady told her, you knew what you signed up for. And she said, no, I did not. And that tells you that from 2011 to 2013, they had a relatively quiet life. And she thought that's how it was going to stay. But oh no, he blew up. And when he blew up and things took off, they took her man and they took a part of her too. She feels invisible. That's what the girl was saying. The girl wasn't saying she wanted another man. The girl wasn't saying she really even wanted male attention. What she was saying was, I feel like nobody sees me anymore. And whether your woman or any woman will admit it, we've all felt that way. We've all felt like I'm just so-and-so's mama, so-and-so's wife. I'm just so, you just start to feel like, what about me? I was somebody before I was so-and-so's wife, so-and-so's mother. What about me? She said it would just be nice. It would just be nice for somebody to look at me. Even when they answer questions, you know the question they asked? The question that they said was, Steph Curry is so perfect. Does he ever lose his temper? Are you kidding me? And she was like, no, he don't lose his temper unless he's on the court. But the point is, they think she's married to somebody perfect. But then they dog her out. Now let's go a little bit further because there's some stuff that y'all really didn't pay attention to that I really did. So first of all, she's already developing. Then she admitted she's on anxiety medication. That further lets me know that she's not ready for this life. This life took her aback, okay? She was taken totally aback. And we always looking at the money. But listen, I'm telling you, sometimes people are like, you know what? You can have this money back. You can have some of this money back because this is not worth my sanity. He said, okay, Megan Copeland says, finally, someone is saying what I was saying. Her interview went over a lot of people's heads. I think a lot of people, Megan, just didn't watch the whole interview. They looked at the clip and they just took it and ran with it. And some people are so insulted by it. But what I don't understand is they're so insulted by it. Why are you so mad? Why are we so mad about this? If that's what she feels, that's what she feels. I ain't mad about it. You know, I'm just passionate about relationships, but I just don't understand why people are so mad about what she said that they are allowing it to make this, you know, to base decisions in their life on. It's like, she just said that. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so Mo says, I got a question. I haven't seen any videos of any of this topic, but it could be me, but this sounds like she may have some self-esteem issues. Is it me? What has stopped her from being her? Absolutely. I absolutely believe she has some self-esteem issues, Mo. Absolutely. That's why I said she has not fully developed her internal confidence. Because if she had her internal confidence, then she would feed a little bit more off of that and not need so much. But some people are a little bit more needy than others. And as I started off the broadcast saying, she naturally, innately is prone to like attention. There are some people that just like attention. And she already is prone to that. So what's stopping her from being her is not necessarily a thing, but it's the fact that now, because of the magnitude of his stardom, because of his celebrity, she no longer is Ayesha Curry. She is now Steph Curry's wife. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about her not being who she is. It's about who the world sees her as. And the only reason why that matters so much is because she has the low self-esteem. It's because her internal confidence has not fully developed. But she's 30, and she just turned 30. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing there is that she was not truly prepared for this. She's still developing. She's on anxiety medication because, like she said she said, I didn't know what I signed up for. I had no idea this is what it was going to be like. Okay. But then let me tell you why she has some further issues. She's already dealing with the negative side of the limelight. You know why? Because he's the saint. But you know what they told her? You not black enough. See, she's Canadian. They told her, you're not black enough. So to the black people, she's not black enough. And to the white people, she's not white enough. So she's dealing with those issues. See, again, yes, she got some self-esteem issues. So it's not that she wants another man to look at her per se. It's a lot of men looking at her. They looked at her Instagram page and she get a lot of likes. The point is she's saying, I matter. I matter to the world as more than just Steph Curry's wife. You know what I'm saying? She's more than just a chef. She's more than just his kid's mother, his wife. I'm more than that. And sometimes we as women lose ourselves in serving everybody else. And it's like, we don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We don't matter. So let me give you a couple more points and then we'll be done. So she's on anxiety medication that lets you know she's not ready for this. She's dealing with negative side effects, not being, white enough, not being black enough. She's in between. She don't fit nowhere. Okay. She's being disrespected and disregarded by women and people. They just come up and just act like she's not there. Okay. And sometimes she has to introduce herself or have to step up and say, excuse me, hello, I'm here. She became a businesswoman to have something for herself because she didn't just want to be a mother or wife, but then she feel guilty for that. So where does she belong? That's what this was more about. Where is her place? Who am I? That's what it really was. It was much deeper than just, I want men to hit the like button. It was much more deeper than that. Much more deeper than that. Where do I belong? Let me say this, when a couple transitions from the commitment for love, remember we talked about that earlier and I told you to remember that earlier in the broadcast. I said that initially when it's just you and him, you don't have any kids, you commit to each other because you're just so in love. You go through your honeymoon phase. I love you, 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 I love you. And then the kids come and you start building a family. And so what happens is now is, okay, I love you too, but we got to get these kids. I'll never forget that I was working with a girl and her and her husband had went through that little honeymoon phase and they had some kids back to back, bam, bam, bam. And so she used to call him and say, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that? She never ever said, I love you. Or what you doing? Have this on when I get home. She didn't say any of that. And I had to remind her that, hello, your husband is still a man. Your husband still needs to know that you find him attractive. Your husband still needs to know that you're thinking about him in that way. Not just, did you take this one to dress rehearsal? Did you take that one? Did you give him a honey-do list? Because after honey get finished doing, honey want to get done. Okay? You see what I'm saying? And not just as a hurry up and get done type situation, but he want to know that you're thinking about him throughout the day. When was the last time you sent him a nice little text? When was the last time you called him and said, I just called to see what you were doing. I just called you on my mind. No, you gave him a honey-do list. That's what happens when you transition from that first stage to the second stage. When you start thinking more about family, than you were when you were in love at first. The first stage is you being all in love and googly-eyed and I love you too. But then you move to the next stage where you start building a family, and that's where it gets a little shaky sometimes because you have to be intentional. You have to be very intentional about not losing one another. Why do you think so many people get divorced when their kids turn 18, 19 years old? Kids going out the house. We have not taken the time to cultivate the marriage. We have not taken the time to remember each other. We have not taken the time to do more than date nights. We have not taken the time to be spontaneous. We have not taken the time to embrace that little extra weight. I like your rose, girl. I love you. We have not taken the time to evolve together. And so as a result, when the kids leave, I look over at you, you look over at me, and I'm like, who are you? And who are you? That's what happens. It's no coincidence that people get divorced between their children 18th and 20 years. They done. And they haven't checked back in with each other because they were worried about the honey-do list. They were worried about the kids. It can't just be about the kids. It can't just be about the kids. Okay. And so right now, Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry are in that middle section. That's the section where it's hard. Because you got kids, business, you got parents sometimes that fall ill and you got to take care of parents. You got all this stuff going on. He in the NBA, so he gone. When he do come home, he in the playoffs, so he play longer. When he do come home, she got to go and stir up the pots and be a restaurateur. And then they got family events and all this type of stuff. And when they get finished, what time do they have with each other? What time? What time? What time? See, time causes a problem. He's an NBA star, mega star. So then he get invited to the All-Star games and all the extra stuff too. He got endorsements. He got to satisfy that. She got her stuff. When do they get to enjoy each other? He said, love them stretch marks. More cushion for the pushing. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? When do they have time for each other? Time causes a problem. Because when you don't spend it, you will grow apart. How much time do you think they have for date nights? She done had 3 kids. You don't think she feels something about her body? You don't think she feels some type of way about her body? You don't think she feeling like, well, maybe I'm not as sexy to him as I was when I was 15 or whatever age she got with him? She's definitely insecure. You know what kind of women probably pushing themselves at him? They all nipped up, tucked up, pushed up. Everything that's down is pushed up. And they come into them games. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand me when I tell you the level of insecurities that she has, that she does not know how to deal with? And she's 30. So nothing in her mind said, this is not something that you should say. Everything that we think should not be said, and it should definitely not be said in front of a broad audience. Maybe that's a conversation she should have had with her mother. Maybe that's a conversation she should have had with her mother-in-law, but she didn't. It was her truth at the moment. And now we're crucifying her for her truth at the moment, not realizing, first of all, not even listening to the whole clip. And second of all, not realizing that the girl got deeper issues. She got deeper issues because when a person takes it that personal about not being introduced, when a person takes it that personal about people not realizing that there's somebody too, it's typically because it goes back to their childhood. It goes back. It's not just a symptom of today. It goes back further. But if you listen to the things that she said in the interview, you would know she has a lot of insecurities that are only being magnified, magnified by the fact that he's in the NBA. They have all this money. They have all these obligations. They got these 3 babies that they've had back to back to back. And so her insecurities that were already laying there, some of them were dormant, some of them were real and right there in their face. Now they're coming to life. And all we heard is, she wants some attention, she thirsty. No. It was her truth at the time. It was her truth. It should have been a conversation she had with her husband. But here's the thing. I'm going to say this to you. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm glad that there are some men on here too. Nothing is ever done in public that has not been expressed in private. Nothing. Nothing is ever done in public that has not been expressed in private. Now, here's the thing. Here's the problem. Sometimes it's not expressed verbally or vocally. And you have to know your spouse or be in tune with your spouse well enough to know that something's off. But I just told you they don't have a lot of time. So maybe he didn't notice it. Maybe they did talk about it. That's the part we don't know. But ultimately, it was her truth at the time. It was her truth. And whether she told the world, told him, it was her truth. It does not have to be a fact for me. It does not have to be a fact for you. It was just her truth. It was her truth. And at the end of the day, she will grow and learn that there's some things that need that can be said and some things that can't. But remember what I told you, she is still adjusting to the magnitude of the limelight that they have. She's still adjusting. She don't realize that there's some things you cannot say as Ayesha Curry. But once again, how do you know she didn't say it in rebellion? Because I'm tired of just being Ayesha Curry. I want to be seen too as just me. Yes, it comes with the territory of being his wife. Yes. But that don't mean it's always easy. And so to me, instead of us dogging her, we should be praying for their union because they're in a tough spot. Not about cheating or any of that. They're in a valley simply because they don't have a lot of time to spend with each other. They got 3 babies. That's new for them. You see what I'm saying? That's new for them. So between his NBA career, her cooking career, the babies, what time do they have for one another? Family. You see what I'm saying? So instead of dogging her, instead of saying she's thirsty, instead of saying all of those things, why not pray for their union? Because it got to be tough being married and being in the limelight all the time when you 20 and 30 years old, because you're young and you want the time to make those mistakes and get it in and do what you do. But they look at him like he perfect. He can't make no mistakes. And they look at her like she's not good enough for him. She's not good enough for him. The black community says she ain't black enough. And the white community says, why are you with him? You're a sack chaser. You don't have anything to offer, Steph Curry. So you got to understand that's a lot of pressure. It's a whole lot of pressure. And I would rather pray. Pray. I don't know one woman who doesn't like getting some level of attention, definitely from her husband. But when your relationship is in a valley, not necessarily a valley from cheating, just a valley. Exactly, Robert. Jada says she dealt with the same thing, but nobody jumped on her. But when your relationship is in a valley, listen to me when I tell you, you start to wonder if you're still good enough. You start to buy into it too. He's Steph Curry. Am I good enough? And so she want to know too. She want to be able to say, just like you popping, I'm popping too. Just like they want you, they want me too. Not necessarily that I want them back, but I just need to know that I'm good enough for you, because that's what it all comes down to, her own self-esteem. And so we should pray. We should pray for their union. To whoever you believe in, your creator, pray for their union instead of going off and dragging her even more for telling her truth. Mo Pasha said, I guarantee you, Steph Curry not dunking. It's far. His non-dunk. Oh, here you go talking junk. He's far from perfect. He got problems too. But I'm telling you, Mo, on the show, the lady wrote in and said Steph Curry is perfect. Does he even have a temper? People think he is perfect. They think he is perfect, and that means she's not good enough for him. Because I just told you, what did they say? She's not black enough. She's not white enough. She's from Canada. This, and the third. This, and the third. We should be praying for their union. Because they're young, they're black, and they're trying to make it. They're trying to make it, and they're trying to do right. And yeah, she might have, that might have been a conversation that should have been had. Maybe not, might not have been the best time to say it. But she said it, and it was her truth. And whether she said it in front of everybody or she said it in front of nobody, it still was there. It was still her truth. Is he saying that though? I don't know what he's saying. No way a woman that's married should worry about the next dude giving her attention. That's not what it was about, Chuck. That's not what it wasn't about, another dude getting attention. We broke that down. It wasn't about that. And if you saw the whole clip, she said, I don't even not that I want the attention from the guys. And they stopped her and said, they looking, trust me, they're looking. If you watch the whole thing, you will see she wasn't saying I want guys to look at me. She's saying I feel invisible. I feel invisible, and I know how that feels as a woman. I've been a wife and a mother, and taking care of everybody, and take care of your mama, and take care of your mother-in-law, and take care of everybody else. What about me? And that's all she's saying is, I don't want to be invisible. Even to him, she probably feels invisible, because I just told you, she said this several times that he didn't even introduce her. She said, I hate that. I hate it when he does that. You know, it's times when he has not introduced her. So how would you feel? When President Trump did it, they crucified him. President Trump's wife was sitting next to him. Okay, his wife was standing next to him, and he said, Melania couldn't be here today. And everybody like, he didn't even know his wife was there. But if Steph Curry do it, oh, well, you don't understand what he was doing. What? The girl just feel invisible. And she's learning how to deal with that whole lifestyle, the lifestyle that a lot of people would love to have simply because of the money, but they're not thinking about the sacrifice that she has to make, the sacrifice that has to be made, period. I know he makes one. I understand he makes a sacrifice being away from his family as the protector, but he has to do it as a provider. But she makes a big sacrifice too. And all she's saying is, I want to be seen too, because he gets seen for his sacrifice. He gets glorified for his sacrifice. She's saying, but what about me? That's all she's saying is, what about me? It was much deeper than just, I want some guys to look at me. She was saying, I would like for some people to see me too. He said, how much she want? It ain't about money, Chuck. It's not about money. It's not about money. Listen, like I said earlier, let me repeat this for those who just came on. When a woman wants you, she will appreciate what you provide. She will appreciate what you go through to provide, but she will never be only satisfied with things when she wants just you. If I want you, it ain't even the money. I would give the money to have you because I love you. And that's all she's saying. She's saying, this is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. She said people that walked up on her when she was breastfeeding her baby. It's a lot. And it comes with the territory, but it's a territory that she didn't necessarily select, because when she got with him, he wasn't a mega star. That's all she's saying. Maybe she didn't use the right choice of words. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe it wasn't the right crowd to say it to. Okay, we can argue those points, but ultimately it still was her truth. And whether she said it to billions or one, it still was her truth. And like I said before, nothing is ever done in public that has not been expressed in private in some way. It's up to you to be in tune with your mate if your mate never says it out their mouth. Because they may not ever say it out of their mouth, but surely they're going to act it out. What's not done by word is always done in deed. Always. Always. I read what you said. I read what you said. You said, how much more does she want? How do you know how much she's getting? If the roles were reversed, the guy would get crucified. The guy would typically get crucified simply because he already has a lot of attention on him. We're not mind readers. Communication is the first thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all get mad over us liking a woman's picture. I don't get mad about that stuff. I don't get mad about that stuff. You like somebody's picture, that's one thing, but it's a continuation of you liking her picture. So you like all her pictures. You like 67 pictures in a row. Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother, because do you need to pack up? That's what we don't like. Liking one picture is what it is, but what type of picture did you like? Did you like all the pictures when she was scantily clad, or did you like the pictures when she was dressed up or whatever? How? See, we look at more detail than guys look at. Y'all guys don't look at detail like we do. Siobhan says the same people that's dragging Ayesha was very understanding of Jay cheating on B. Oh, definitely, because they said that comes with the territory. She already knew where he was. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's a double standard. But the problem with the double standard is when the rabbit got the gun, it ain't no fun. Streeto says, hey, what's up, family? I made a post about it, and Chill, she wasn't saying she want attention. She was basically saying she don't get no attention from men, to say what's wrong with her, like why men don't pay her any attention, like do I still got it? Exactly. And that's because she feels invisible. Let me tell you something. Sometimes good women who are out here tearing it up, okay, that are out here doing it up, they got nails done, hair done, they got beautiful figures and shapes, they're not getting hit on. And they trying to figure out why y'all keep on dealing to the side, gun popping, booty shorts wearing, no class having. I'm trying to figure out why you keep hollering at her. And I've had to tell women before, because they look at you and they already know that's too much work. And at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it's a whole lot of men, I call them males, will look and get the low-hanging fruit or get the fruit that's right at the bottom, as opposed to going all the way to the top, getting the best apple. Some guys, some of y'all guys don't want to work. Y'all don't want to put in the effort. Yes, Tatiana. Y'all want to deal with Tatiana, but y'all don't, but y'all won't, but you don't want to put in the effort for the one who says, hey, wait a minute, you can't treat me any kind of way. You can't treat me any kind of way. They rather go over there to her because they know she's going to afford them the opportunity to do what they want to do. I talked to a guy one day and he told me, he said, I know she ain't on my level. He said, I know she ain't on my level. He said, I can tell by the conversation she's not on my level. He said, but she affords me the opportunity to do what I want to do. So it's a whole lot of y'all egos. See, the reason why I can't even get with the man ego is because y'all ego is the same thing that will have y'all living with somebody that's not even your life partner, just because this one over here make more money than you. Cut it out. Cut it out. I can't go according to your ego, just like you shouldn't go according to my feelings. Because feelings will have us all unraveled and all crazy. So your ego, my feelings, hey, that's not safe. Those are not safe. Those are not safe for us to use as decision makers. But it's a whole lot of men tonight that are making decisions or that are saying things based on their egos being bruised for Steph Curry. If my woman would have said that, but your woman didn't say that. Now you all in the bed looking at her funny. You all in the bed looking at your wife funny and she ain't said nothing to you today about want somebody to like her picture. I'm just saying. Mo says, no, I'm going to the top of the tree. See what I'm saying? But it's a whole lot of men that don't want. He said, I don't want it if it's that easy. It's a whole lot of guys that do not want to put in no real work and real effort. They would rather deal with somebody that's beneath them, that make them feel like a man, instead of them having to put the effort as one. That's just what it is. Toxic masculinity. It is absolutely toxic. These guys deal with females that be happy with a pint of Hennessy and some lamb chops and $40. $40. Yep. In a real relationship, ego should be out the door. They absolutely should. Pride comes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Ultimately, it's not going to land you anywhere. It's not going to land you anywhere. Anywhere. So I'm not saying that she was right. No, I'm not. Mo said, I think it's time for a forum. You asked before and I was busy. We need a panel of about 4 men, 4 women. Let's talk about it. Absolutely. I'm getting ready for a conference. Definitely getting ready for a conference. And I love the men's panel. I love to talk with men and we debate with men about how we see different things, but we see things differently simply because women are more detailed. Men are more surface. Men are more surface. They see things, they see a broader view. We see the details. We like, no, don't go that way. It's a puddle all the way down there. You see it? And he like, That's why men can't find nothing. You send them in there, look for the string beans in the cooler on the shelf, Albert. Albert can't find nothing. Where's that? Huh? I don't see it. What you say? What we say? That's why we put together. We're detailed. We're emotional. We're the softer side. They're a little harder. They're more logical. And they like broader. When you put it together, there's nothing missing and nothing broken. That's exactly what it is. There's nothing missing, nothing broken. Let me see what else. He said, not Albert. Yes, I went color purple on y'all. Girl, you speaking the real. These men should really be ashamed of themselves for making how she feel about them. Absolutely. It's a whole lot of men that's pissed off. And I'm like, why y'all mad? Is he this mad? Because it happened to him. We as the people have to find our queen. And when you find her, it has to be real on both ends. Self-esteem of I and I equals us. I agree. And let me tell you something. I'm a queen, okay? All day long. And the way that I carry myself and the way I try to, treat people. But here's the thing. As a woman, and I'm gonna say this before I sign off, as a woman, a queen responds to the king in you. If she's not responding to you as a king, she don't see it. Sorry. She just don't. Okay, and Streeto says, and she clearly said, not that she wants the attention, but she questioned herself as to why she don't get the attention. It's a topsy-turvy situation, but I didn't see nothing wrong with the comment. I agree. She said, I don't want that. It's not that I want it. And the stepmother the mother-in-law was already saying, oh, you get it. You just not paying attention. She said, it's not that I want it, but I just want to know, am I still attractive? That's all she was saying. Am I still attractive? Am I still, how do he see me? I told you she pumped out 3 babies. I'm trying to tell you. I vote for Baller, Robert Campbell, and Derek Jackson to be on the panel. Okay. And Sabata Fleming. Okay. I'll put those names down. I sure will. And Siobhan says, I just want us to get to a point where we can listen to each other and agree to disagree without tearing each other down. And you know what, Siobhan, I'm gonna tell you why that's hard. That's hard because that requires some level of responsibility, right? See, here's the thing. We all have authority over our opinion, right? But with authority comes responsibility and accountability. You have to be responsible and accountable for freedom of speech. You have to be accountable and responsible for that. And a lot of people don't want to be accountable and responsible for what they say or how they say it. So it's easier for me to tear you down than to be responsible for sitting and saying, you know what? Okay, I don't agree. We can agree to disagree, but I don't have to tear you down because you have a different opinion than me. No, that requires us to be a different level of comfort. That's that internal confidence that you have in you. And again, it's a whole lot of us that have not developed it. And let me be real with you guys. I see a lot of clients. It's a lot of people. Let me tell you something. It's a lot of people that you have no idea are on my phone. Okay, it's a lot of people that's on my phone that you guys know, but you would have no idea and I would never tell you. But my point is, there are a lot of people out here that emotionally don't have it. Okay, because we emotionally are the same age that we were hurt worse until we heal. So we have a lot of people that are around here 40 and 45 years old, but emotionally, they like 8, 12, because they still stuck at the age that they were hurt worse, stuck at the age that they were hurt worse. Until you deal with that and get healing, get some resolve, get some peace about it, you won't have the level of maturity to say, we can agree to disagree because I feel like I feel and you feel like you feel. Truth is relative. Truth is relative. But it takes a certain amount of confidence in yourself and a certain level of maturity and a certain level of respect for you and them to say, I agree to disagree. And some of us just don't have it because we got pride instead. And the pride says, I'm right, you wrong. And it's unfortunate. Chuck says she married. Why worry about any attention other than her family? I'm not tearing her down, and it's not about egos. I'm not mad. I'm questioning why so many females agree with this. Every dude on this thread know doggone well they will scratch their heads if their woman said this same exact thing. She's married. Why worried about anybody attention other than her family? Because she ain't getting the attention from her family. That's what that's telling you. She's not getting it. She's not getting the attention. If she was getting the attention, she wouldn't need it from anybody else. She wouldn't be thinking about why she's not getting some attention. She obviously is not getting it from her husband gone, 150, 200 days a year? She's not getting it from her family and it's a certain level of, it's certain types of attention too. She's not looking for the attention from her kids. She get plenty of that. She's looking for attention, a male attention, and she's not getting it from her husband. That's all she was saying is, what's wrong with me? He ain't looking at me like he used to. He ain't got time, and it ain't nobody else really checking for me. And it's really because she ain't paying attention. They checking. Didn't y'all see them Instagram posts? She got like 500,000 likes or whatever. They checking for you. She just don't want that. She wanted from her husband. She wanted from her husband. She just didn't do the best job of articulating it very well. Siobhan says it took a 5-minute discussion with a group of women to turn Ayesha into an ungrateful, attention-seeking whore. I agree, and that's sad. That's sad. It is. Mo Pasha says it's about understanding, not right or wrong. That's true. Chuck says yes, he's gone that many times a year. That's his job. Yes, his job, but that don't mean I'm not getting what I need. I mean that still don't negate the fact that I need what I need, and maybe they just haven't found the way to figure that out or to make that work. You know what I'm saying? Because now they got kids. She can't travel with him. So he just going to have to figure out a way to give her what she need. And she going to have to figure out a way to taper off maybe some of what she need. But that all will subside as her internal level of confidence increases. That's what Jada Pinkett told her. Because Jada Pinkett said the same thing. Why y'all not mad about Jada? Jada Pinkett said the same exact thing. She said she felt the same exact way. But she just didn't tell nobody. That was the only difference. She just didn't tell nobody. And that was the mistake that maybe Ayesha made in terms of sharing it with the world, because the world wasn't ready to see her in that way. They feel like she's ungrateful. They feel like this, she should be, that's his job. But just because it's his job don't mean that's what she was ready for. She thought he was going to have a little quiet, little bench ride in life, I guess. First couple years it was like that. Then all of a sudden he turned into Steph Curry with the shot. All of a sudden now she like, oh, what about me? Balance is the key. And they got to learn that. You have to learn balance, which means he has to learn how to say no to some things so that he can put his family first. And maybe he hasn't learned that. Because she did say, she alluded to the fact that he tries to make sure everybody's straight. Well, that means in making sure everybody's straight, somebody gonna sacrifice. And it's probably her. Typically women who, Taquana says, typically women who are stay-at-home moms and have kids back while the husband works generally feel like this. I agree. Siobhan says, Chuck, again, where was this energy when Jay cheated on B? Ayesha didn't even cheat. All she did was express how she felt. I agree. People kind of was just like, oh yeah, Jay cheated. This what he do. Robert says, I think she lacks from self-confidence. This more proves having money always make you happy. Don't always make you happy. I know that's what he meant. And I agree with you, Rob. I agree wholeheartedly that money is not the thing that will make you happiest. If it did, then it wouldn't be so many people jumping from person to person to person in Hollywood. They got plenty of money, big old houses, but are they homes? And that's why I didn't understand why people immediately said, well, how much more she want from him? What do you mean how much more she want? She didn't even ask for all that money. You know what I'm saying? When she got with him, he didn't have all that money. He wasn't the Steph Curry that we know today. So it's not about money. She making her own money. She might not make as much as him, but she making some. Or she got a grip. You see what I'm saying? And the first thing people gonna say is she got that from him. She got it because of who she was to him. Whatever, she got it. Streeto says, I don't think it's about attention from him or her family. I think she simply was saying, why don't I get attention? All of these beautiful basketball wives get, like, I know I'm beautiful as well. Like, what's wrong with me? I don't think it's attention in the house. It's something with her, within her. She feeling. Well, Streeto, it was several things that she said that let me know it was her. And it possibly can be him not giving her everything that she needs or everything that he possibly gave her in the beginning. Because one of the things she said in the beginning of the interview, I don't know if you saw the whole interview, but one of the things she said in the beginning of the interview was that she hates it when she has to introduce herself. So there are times when he literally will go off and be doing something else and not even care to introduce her. And as Mo Pasha said, I don't know if he's still on here, but as Mo Pasha said, the first thing a man is supposed to do is introduce himself and his family, or introduce his family. You know what I'm saying? And so there are some times in which she has felt like she was left out or felt as if she was invisible. And that's why I said that it could be very well that she still wants some more attention from him, because remember, she has shifted from it just being her and him to now her, him, the NBA, and 3 kids, and her career too. So she may be feeling a little bit of lack. And that's what happens when a woman shifts from the first level of the relationship where it's just her and him to the next level of the relationship where it's her, him, the parents, when they get sick, the jobs, the businesses, the kids, and everything else. It's less time for me and you like it was in the beginning. So that's why I said it may not be as much attention as it was in the beginning for him and her. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. Look, we gotta social media proves every day that people love attention, not only her. Okay, Robert. Okay. It's a whole lot of people. I said that earlier. It's a whole lot of wives. It's a whole lot of folks that's feeling so strongly about this. But I watch their women on Facebook all day long, hitting that button all day long. Women and men both, yes, all day long. You on that all day long. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be careful. They just in the limelight, but they human too. She's human. And she's 30. She's still trying to figure it out. Put me on that panel when it's time. I sure will. I'm having a conference. I'm sure gonna check with you guys, because I love to have various types of men to come and bring us into their world with their thoughts, and the women versus the men go back and forth and talk about different topics, not just about cheating, but we talk about relationships as a whole. And all of my participants get a chance to ask questions and say, hey, why is this? Or why do you guys do this? Or why do you guys do that? And I'm telling you, we had such a good time. Mr. Pitts, Roderick Pitts, was on my panel last time. We had a great time. People loved the panel. Facebook famous. Oh, yes, Facebook famous, Instagram famous. But at the end of the day, nothing to their community, nothing to their home. It's some people that are public successes and private failures, and it's terrible. It's terrible. I dare not log off of here and not instill something in my children. Are you kidding me? I don't think so. You're welcome, Miss Siobhan. I just wanted to talk about this because we do need to remember she's human. I'm not saying she was right or wrong for expressing her truth how she did, but I'm just saying that that tweet that she had in 2011, that was way before he was Mr. Steph Curry. So I'm sure she felt that way then, but now, oh, it's a different magnitude. And all I'm saying is she's human. Let's cut her a little bit of slack as she learns how to say things or how to handle the platform that she has and the life that she now has to embrace. We call those rich people problems, but they still problems nonetheless. So I want y'all to, I thank y'all for showing up. Thank you guys. I hope you share, because there's some people who really are hammering her, but really kind of need to sweep around their own front door and chill out, because this really ain't about you and your woman. But if it is, we got some deeper issues. So I want you to have a great evening. You already know how, on purpose. God bless you.